The lights go out and MotoGP 21 is underway, and look at the Ducatis blast away from the line. They've left the Yamahas for dead, and it's Bagnaia from Miller, from Zarco and Jorge Martin. You've got 4 Ducatis leading the way in Qatar. They could not be matched at all by the Yamahas.
Gav, Jorge Martin from the 5th row of the grid.
We got a crash on one of the Tech 3 bikes. Lecuona or Petrucci. God damn, I think it's Petrucci with that orange helmet. So it's a 1-2 for the factory Ducati team. Aleix Espargaro's made a decent start as well. A bit of a moment as Martin up into 3rd place. The rookie up from Moto 2 is in 3rd. It was Petrucci who went down at the start. What a sad start to the rider who's left the Ducati team. Zarco attacking his teammates. So we've still got a Ducati 1-4, and then it's an Aprilia leading the rest. But it's going to be Pecco Bagnaia from pole position who leads them down. Johan Zarco hit 225 miles per hour down here. He said with the slipstream he might even get to 228, and he's taking over from Jack Miller. Zarco has led this race before in the past when he was on a Yamaha. He loves Qatar. He crashed out, unfortunately, when he was leading here in the past. The other time he dropped back, but he fancies his chances here on the Pramac bike today.
Watch the power of that Ducati.
Turbo.
There you go. Bye-bye.
On the brakes, Fabio Quartararo having to squeeze them tight. That Ducati turns a little bit better, but fair play to Quartararo. Unfortunately, when they crossed the line, Miller was in front.
But what a great example then of how, if you're a Yamaha rider, you have to work your tyres harder. That was a perfect example. They got to the braking zone, and then Quartararo had to let the brake off and then almost overload the tyre into the corner.
Taka Nakagami was top Honda on the grid, and the Japanese rider, beautiful looking bike, but not when it's in bits. And unfortunately, the LCR Idemitsu bike of Nakagami crashes out, and Honda's weekend just gets worse. Here he comes through up to 5th place. Alex Rins is also on the move. Personal best lap, as Neil said last time out, and now he's past the Ducati of Jack Miller. Miller is going to come back through. Rins a bit wide into turn 16. Just trying everything, wasn't he, to make sure he could keep Miller at bay. Sahara-san, the new boss, I suppose. He always was the boss, but no Davide Brivio. He's moved over to Formula One, and there's a management committee instead in charge of Suzuki. Maverick Viñales is attacking Quartararo, and Viñales also on the move up into 3rd place and the podium positions.
Very nice move.
That's a classic, isn't it, from Qatar. Just through the kink at turn 9, carry that little bit extra and then get it stopped into turn 10.
Wow, that was tight into 11, Rins up the inside. The thing is there, Fabio Quartararo was really good into that corner, so he committed himself, and then halfway in he thought, this is going to get tight. Here we go. For the lead.
Oh, Pecco Bagnaia just holding off Maverick Viñales, but Maverick means business now, and if he hits the front, Pecco's going to have to respond. However much he's trying to manage this race, he's going to have to. I hope he's watched some of Dovi's old races and the way Dovi would manage these from the front, because he knows if Maverick hits the front, he's going to try and split.
Wow, look at that. That Yamaha, like I said, it jumps out the corners, and then that means it can stay in the slipstream. But like we said before, Zarco's bike's the fastest one.
Rins again through on Jack Miller. This one's going to rumble and rumble. Rins fancies a piece of this one in the opening round of the 2021 MotoGP World Championship. We've got a Ducati from a Yamaha. From another Ducati, here comes Maverick Viñales. He's going to take the lead from Pecco Bagnaia. He's been lurking for a number of laps now, but Viñales takes the lead with 7.5 to go. Can he stick in front? Can he put together? He's into the section where his bike should be the strongest out on track. Can he pull enough of a gap to stay ahead of the Ducati? I'm not sure he can.
Well, now we find out. Now the race starts, because Viñales, he can only have one plan now, and that is to go. And look, actually, he's stretching it already. Like you said, that is a strong point for the Yamaha. But we have seen that Yamaha jump off the corners quite well. Look at that. He's on his way.
If Zarco fancies it, he knows he needs to get through on Bagnaia. Bagnaia's not going to give it up. He's a demon on the brakes, is Bagnaia, but Zarco betters him and up into second place. The Satellite. Factory bike, but in the Satellite Pramac Ducati team, Zarco into second. Viñales, a 55.5. Bear in mind, Bagnaia had been running high 55.9s and 56s. Suddenly, half a second has been put on the pace here.
This is a big lap for Zarco. Never won a MotoGP race, and it's all about this lap. It's 5.5 laps to go, but can he close the gap on Viñales?
Zarco did have good pace, as did Joan Mir, and he is through and into the podium spots, past Pecco Bagnaia, a textbook Qatar move. Ken Kawauchi on the right, Shinichi Sahara on the left. The management committee who've replaced Davide Brivio. I mean, they were there anyway, but they didn't want anyone to change their roles, so they haven't replaced Brivio as a team manager. Winding it up all the time, looking towards turn 15 for the left-hander. Is a way through. He tries to get right in on the back of Joan Zarco's bike. Is he going to pop out? Here he comes on the inside. You know he's going to have a go.
Yep,
he's the world champion, and that's why he goes through on Joan Zarco up into second place. The big question is, can he hold on from Zarco to the line, because he's got two Ducatis bearing down his neck as the world champion, and he's run very, very wide out in that final corner. It's like Dovi and Marquez, but it's for second place. The winner of the opening Grand Prix of the year is going to be Maverick Viñales, and it's going to be from two Ducatis. From Zarco and Bagnaia. Mir could do nothing. I do not believe it.
I do not believe that.
Mir thought he'd got that podium, and somehow the Ducati power has turned on the turbo, but it's to beat the Suzuki. The Yamaha takes the spoils. Ducati can still celebrate taking the podium.
That was incredible. The speed of those two Ducatis working together just flew past that Suzuki. Mir will be devastated. This was the problem, missing the apex, and he missed it by a mile.
And then he loses the drive.
Exactly, that's the issue. So that's why it's obviously the Ducatis are faster, but he'd lost the drive there. Look, you can see the momentum of those Ducatis come flying past.
Oh, that will be heart-wrenching for the world champion. He thought he'd done all the hard work. As Ducati celebrate a podium at least.